Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
All right, hello and welcome to another edition of C2C Rankem. I'm the host, Big B, joined by my colleague who just watched his team or read his team get swept by the lonely Oakland A's. Tim Hendricks, how you doing, bud?
It's disappointing, but then again, I don't feel so bad because Tampa lost to the Rays, the almighty Rays lost to the A's last night too. So I'm starting to feel not too bad.
Yeah, and so did Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh lost to them too, so they're beating up on some good teams right now. So all right, so we're here. We got our list. We're doing one of our favorite lists that we look forward to every couple weeks, and that's the birthdays. So we got 6 days, and then we'll go around and see how many we get before we start. So June 1st, I say the top two for sure.
Oh,
That's Jack Black. What's up, Sarge? Yes, it is.
Yeah,
top two for sure, but I think we got three.
I think we got three, maybe four.
Maybe four. You're right. I'll go with maybe four. Our top two should be staying in different order, though. I think.
It depends on where you went. I think.
Yep. Exactly. So I'll let you start, so that I can start the sniping.
Okay. So you can start the sniping. Great. Yeah. So I might have sniped one right off the top.
All right.
Last week we did a list about Grammys, and my number 5 was actually on my list last week with one of her songs. Actually, I think she had 2 Grammys, and I think we both picked one. I think we both picked the same one, and we were talking about how when she started, she was actually did something called Bubblegum Pop, and then she turned around and she was on a TV show on Nickelodeon back in the day, back in the mid to late 80s. You can't do that on television. And then she turned into this queen of goth and emo music, and that's Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, she found her calling when she went that way to the goth side of things. My number 5 is one beautiful actress, swimsuit model in 1998. She's the first German to do that. No, she was the first German to be a Victoria's Secret angel, I guess. So, and that's Heidi Klum.
I saw that. So, I saw that, and I'm thinking,
wow, you didn't go that way. Okay,
we didn't go that way.
All right, number 4.
I'm almost half tempted to think. Okay, when you think of Spider-Man, who do you think of?
I'm trying to think of the kid that played the first one now. I can't think of his name right now.
He's my age. That kid's my age now.
Yeah. No.
But it's not him. No. And it's not Andrew Garfield. To me, I think I like Andrew Garfield as a Peter Parker, as a Spider-Man. But I really like my number 3 as a Spider-Man. I thought he did an amazing job when they added him into the MCU, and then now that after they did the whole Across the Spider-Verse, he's gotten a little more positive and a little more hype that they're talking about another Spider-Man 4 with him being in it. And that's Tom Holland.
Okay. All right. My number 4, possibly top 5 defensemen in the NHL, top 10 to 15 overall players, multi Stanley Cups, multi All-Stars. That's Paul Coffey.
Paul Coffey. I remember he played for the Penguins for a little bit.
I was going to say, good teammate of Lemaire's. So, all right, you're number 3.
My number 3. He started a show where he had his own show, but he's more known for he's actually had a couple shows where he was actually probably really popular in, but everybody remembers Don Knotts and Ron Howard, who really had a big jumping off point from this TV series, and then he ended up doing Matlock, and that's Andy Griffith.
Oh, I did miss that one. Okay. I missed that one. Yeah, that would have been up there. I don't know who I would have taken off though, but I missed that one. My number 3 is your number 5. Like we said, she came into her own when she turned into the hard goth rock. That's Alanis Morissette. All right, number 2.
My number two. My number 2. It's strange because I figured I'd never see the picture of this person in Italy, and it seems like everywhere I go, there is a picture of this person at least 5 or 6 times in every city that I'm in, and it's really weird because this country has a love affair with this person, even though most of the people who have the picture of this person weren't born wasn't born when she was alive.
Yeah.
She's had so many rumors of so many different affairs that she's had, but to think that she was an actress that had probably had was married to probably one of the greatest hitters of all time, with and Joe DiMaggio, probably one of the greatest playwrights in Broadway with Miller. But to have her die so early was a shame, and still a shame. But I don't think we'd have her here now. But it was a shame back in that day, and that's Marilyn Monroe.
Yep. My number 2. If you want to do voiceover work, you want this guy to voice your life story, voice a movie, voice whatever, ringtone. This is the guy you call. That's Morgan Freeman. I mean, what else can you say about that guy? So, you're number 1.
It's funny because my number 1 is your number 2. But the funny thing is, on our list, we have 2 people who have played God in 2 different movies. Because Alanis Morissette played God in Dogma.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And then you have Morgan Freeman play God in Bruce Almighty and Evan Almighty. But I think everybody, the first time you saw Morgan Freeman play God in a movie, you went, yeah, that's about what we expect God to sound like when we have to meet our maker. And it was like, yeah, that they cast it perfect right there.
Yep. No, they did, and and he does a lot of voiceovers, a lot of narrating. I should say not voiceovers, narrating. But my number 1 is your number 2, and what can you say? I mean, when she came into her own, the sex symbol back then, like you said, had countless rumored affairs, and but yeah, that's Marilyn Monroe. I mean, when I saw those 2 names, I had a hard time going who was first, who was second. When does Tim make his debut?
I don't
know if we want him.
I don't think you want me as God. You got me better shot at Satan at this point.
But J-Mac, we are. I'm trying to talk him into getting him on that 4 Bros. I know it's late for him, but we'll definitely get him on 4 Bros. So we did 3. I figured 3. The 4th one was going to be dependent on which way you went, and I saw Andy Griffith. We would have had 4. So
yeah.
All right, number 5. We're talking backstage. This one was a tough one to come up with those names that pop at you. So it'll be interesting to see which way we go. I'm going to say we got 2.
I think we might have 3. I'm looking at my number 3, and it's a possibility.
We might have 3. I mean, depending on which way, like I said, which way we went.
I know I've got a curveball right off the top.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to start, but I want.
Go ahead. Go
Well,
ahead.
you know
I
what?
want to
I
hear.
will start. I will start. I'll start because you started one, so I'm not always sniping yours, and we'll get fair. So, so my number 5. When you talk owners, he's got it. Right now, I mean, he's getting into some troubles, but number 4 is New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft.
That's a good one. I did see that one.
Yep. You
Yep.
did see it. Okay.
I did see it. I did see it.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, I did. Oh, I saw it. That's
All right.
tough. That's me being a Colts fan and you seen that one. Yeah, it's a little tough to not to see that one. So my number 5. This is my curveball because I really like this one. When I saw this one, I thought I had to have it. And we don't give Nobel Prize winners too much credit on this show. And my number 5 was a Nobel Prize winner in 1971, and I remember back not so far back as 1971, but I remember the world losing their mind when Tupac became a hologram. When Tupac went on stage, it became a hologram. Well, if it wasn't for my number 5, Tupac can't be a hologram. And he's the inventor of the holography, and that's Dennis Gaber.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. Holograms one thing, and if it comes to fruition to like some people think, we're gonna have it all over the place. But no, that's a good one. My number 4 is a lady producer of a couple of the big movies that I've seen from Mr. Spielberg. One being E.T., and I think she also did Jurassic Park. I thought she did one of the Star Wars, but she did not. And that's Catherine Kennedy. So
I saw that one too.
Oh, you didn't go with her. Wow. I thought maybe that was going to be your curveball, thinking I didn't go with that one.
No. I know you weren't. I didn't think you were going to go that way.
All right, you're number 4.
But my number 4 is an executive producer. She's the head of Lucas Studios. She's the head of Lucas at Disney now. She's the one that George Lucas gave pretty much controllable rights. So but I'm going to tell you, she's done 6 of the 9 Star Wars.
Okay.
She's done all 5 as of now. Indiana Jones. If it's been Star Wars in the last 25 years, Kathleen Kennedy's been a part of it. See, I saw it.
Oh, you did see it. Okay.
I saw it, and she was.
I like how you psyched me out there. I didn't think you had her. So we both had her number 4.
She was my number 2, and then I had to change it. But yeah, my number 4 is your number 5, Kathleen. And your number 4 is my number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just actually looking at some of the films she's done too, and
she's got money. She's made some bank.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Hook, Back to the Futures. So it sounds like if you want a good producer, she's your lady.
Yep.
You even threw me a curveball out there, thinking I might have sniped one that you didn't see or didn't put in there. So, all right, my number 3. Growing up, probably one of the baddest, coolest white guys around. Had a little group, kind of went on his own, had a brother in New Kids on the Block. I think that's how he got his start, was opening up for them. Now he's turned into a pretty decent actor. I kind of like some of his movies he's in, the comic romance ones, not too serious. And that's Mark Wahlberg. Yeah. And he's got a burger joint.
I saw that one too.
Oh, is this going to be one that you can throw out some more stats about him too? Who's your number 3?
My number 3. It's really weird. When I saw this guy on the list, I'm thinking he's got to be no higher than number 3. But growing up, there was always this guy who played the soprano saxophone. And it was always like, God, he's got this hair and he's always annoying. But I was like, but he was he was so annoying that you remembered who he was. And the thing is, you can remember him for his first name and a letter. And it's like, if everybody remembered him, it was so crazy. And it's Kenny G.
Yeah. I got that one. I saw that. Yeah. So my number 2, I believe he only played for the Saints in the NFL. A decent receiver. I think, towards the end of his career, kind of got that injury bug, so he kind of fell off the face of the earth. That's Marquise Colston.
Yep, I saw that one too.
So your number 2.
My number 2. I hate this guy. Absolutely hate this guy. And to think that he got in trouble because he went to a massage parlor. Maybe he should have had Tom Brady go to a massage parlor before Deflategate, and I'd have been a whole lot happier. But yeah, my number 2 is, I want to say, your number
5.
Yeah, it's Robert Kraft. I had to. As much as I hate the guy, I respect the team he put together.
I'm kind of wondering what your number 1 is now that I'm looking, because my number 1, I got 2 because I was debating on knocking Kraft off, but I'm like, no, I got to leave him on there. But my number 1 is probably, and I can see them collaborating together. So it is an artist. Kenny G's one of them. Like you said, it's one of those guys, you just hear it, you know who it is, you can't stand it, but yet he plays that so well. So that's part of my number 1. The other one is R&B, slow, romantic. He's at number 1. You go back to number 1, Brian McKnight.
I saw that one.
All right. Who do you have at number 1?
I think you're gonna hate me every time I say, yeah, I saw that one. Yeah. I got good vibrations about my number 1. It's really good. Good vibrations, and he was an underwear model for, I want to say, Tommy Hilfiger.
Yep.
He was original member of New Kids on the Block, and then got in trouble because he supposedly was for something.
Was he really?
Yeah. He was supposed to be in for where Joey was.
Okay.
And it was and then he got into some trouble, and then that's what happens when you're 15 and you do stupid things.
No.
But yeah, I like his work. To me, Mark Wahlberg does some pretty good work, and he's one of those guys that doesn't take himself too seriously. And I've been a fan of him for quite some time. But yeah, my number 1's Mark Wahlberg. Nice,
you went that route. I was wondering if you're gonna. So we had the bottom 3 of that one. We didn't have the top. Well, we had 4. If you throw in Kenny G as part of there, so that's not bad there. Moving on to the next day, we went with the 6th. This one, yeah, this one could be
2?
I think we got 1 for sure, possibly 3. We should have 2. Unless you went way different, because I know you like to go a lot of historical stuff sometimes. So I'll let you start with your number 5.
All right, my number 5 is the son of a baseball commissioner. But he didn't get into baseball. He didn't get into the whole commissioner thing. Instead, he became an actor. He was in a Spider-Man. He was in Amazing Spider-Man as Rhino, but he's played anywhere between John Adams and a bunch of stuff. But he's such a serious actor, but he's got such a comedic role, and that's Paul Giamatti.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even think I saw that name. Now I see it. But he also played if it's the guy I'm thinking of now that I'm looking at, he played oh god, what was that one movie where he got painted blue? It was a Disney movie. I can't think of it right now. Anyways, my number 4, another hockey great. Now he's currently the president of the Bruins. And that is Cam Neely.
Saw that one.
Your number 4.
My number 4. I decided to go the wrestling route on number 4. I remember him in ECW. No, I don't. Never mind. Forget the ECW part. I remember him in WCW. WCW. I think for a brief time he was part of the NWO. Before they actually started the LWO. I think he's actually one of the original founding members of the LWO. But big into the Mexican wrestling scene. Actually, is now I believe he's a writer at AEW, or he's part of the talent relations at AEW. Went by K-Dog when he was in the LWO and the NWO.
Wow, I missed that one.
And it's Conan.
He's either doing AWE stuff, or he's still with TNA.
Okay.
I didn't realize his birthday was. You're wrong.
I'm wrong.
Yeah. January 6th.
Then what the? Okay. Okay.
I hate to call you out on TV.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. My number 4.
Who did you think of?
My number 4 is an actor, I believe. Let me just pop him up here because I believe he played. This will be the second Star Wars. Yeah, he's an actor. Known for betraying Boba Fett in the 2002 Star Wars Episode 2. That's Daniel Logan.
No, he didn't betray. Yeah, You're right.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be wrong on that one. I'm not going to open my mouth too far on that one.
Number 3.
Yeah, Conan. Holy smokes!
How did you get Conan on that one?
Don't worry, I'm going to see how I screwed that up.
All right, number 3.
I actually have a person who's portrayed a person in Star Wars as well. He did voice work for Star Wars, but has never been in any series. But he's probably more well known for playing Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter movies. He's done the voice of the Grand Inquisitor. I first started noticing this character. I know his birthday's right because I wished him a happy birthday on Twitter. Big fan. But I remember him in, oh my gosh, what was the name of that stupid movie? The Patriot with Mel Gibson and Heath Ledger, where he plays the pretty badass redcoat. And that's Jason Isaacs.
All right, we're at number 3. I'll go NFL route. Recently, I think he's still unemployed. I believe rumors are that he's coming to Minnesota, which for some reason we need all the receiver help we can get, I guess. But and that's DeAndre Hopkins.
Hopkins, really? DeAndre's coming to Minnesota?
No, that's what the rumors are.
Oh,
every receiver is tied to Minnesota, just like every quarterback trade's tied to Minnesota. So
here's the screwed up thing: is on my website that I found my birthdays on.
Yeah,
they have Conan.
Really?
On
Are
June.
You sure it's the right Conan?
19. Conan, Mexican wrestler.
Okay.
I thought it was weird that I got that wrong, but yeah, it says Mexican professional wrestler, 1964.
Yeah, January 6th, 1964. Oh, okay. Well, I'll give it to you. I mean, you got to believe the internet. you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you believe everything on the internet that we did, then the Earth is flat. We never landed
Yeah.
on the moon. Elvis is living in Boca Raton, and Hitler's living in Argentina somewhere.
Yeah. All right, you're number 2.
My number 2. I'm going to get his nationality wrong, even though I'm looking right at it, which is funny. Probably one of the better. Okay, I made sure he's Swedish. Okay. I remember him having such a huge rivalry with, I want to say, Jimmy Connors back in the 80s. He's 11-time Grand Slam champion. For some reason, I always remembered him with red hair, but every time I see a picture of him, it's like he's got blonde hair.
Yeah.
I don't know how that worked out, where all of a sudden he's no longer a redhead, but he's blonde, but I don't care. But yeah, my number 2 is Bjorn Borg.
Yeah, he's had. Yeah, I'm looking at some pictures right now of him because I have always remembered him as a redhead. Sandy, not too reddish, but yeah. But yeah, now it's like some current pictures, it's like blondish.
Yeah.
My number 2, we're going professional wrestling. It's not Conan. It's the Scottish warrior. I'm trying to think of that. What's his name? His real name is Drew Galloway. I had to look it up to find out who it was. It's actually Drew McIntyre.
How did I miss Drew McIntyre?
I don't know.
What year was he born?
I
know he's younger than me, so it can't be that bad.
85.
Holy smokes, he's really young.
Yeah. I know. I was looking at that too, but yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Andrew,
Drew Galloway.
He actually his birth name is Andrew McLean Galloway the fourth. I'm sorry, fourth.
Fourth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right. You're number 1.
At this point, we have to have at least one of these right?
You got to get one.
I'm hoping it's this one at this point. When I saw this name, it was a gimme. It was a give me number 1.
Oh, this was a gimme. Okay.
To me, I had to put him number 1. And I have a feeling we're going to get none at this point. I remember him playing Freddy Krueger in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. The only guy that has ever wore blades on his hand that isn't named Hugh Jackman. And that's Robert Englund. Wow, we went 0 for 5. That's nice. I think that's the first time in history.
No, you sniped mine at number 2. I had the slam. I thought the slam dunk was Borg. I thought that was going to be the slam dunk because your casual tennis fan back in the day, even now learning the sport, he's one of the top 5-ish people you'll talk about. So beyond Borg.
Yeah,
so we have one.
One.
Yeah, which
Really
I thought, and I actually thought it was going to be Drew McIntyre. I thought it was going to be the
I never saw it. And the sad thing is, I know Drew Galloway. I know his name is Drew Galloway, and I just flew right by it.
Yeah. All right, so let's go into June 12th. So anybody whose birthdays was yesterday, happy birthday to you guys. I will start.
I say 3.
Oh, you say 3? Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Number one should be a slam dunk.
I hope so. If not, I went in a whole different wrong direction.
Yeah, so I will start, and I had another name on there, but I think you might have put it on yours, so I'm not gonna. I decided to take it off of there. I'll be surprised if you don't have it on there, but I'm gonna go. We're gonna go wrestling again. Who figured? The world's strongest man, who currently works in AEW, I believe, has his own podcast. That's Mark Henry.
Really? We're gonna start that right off the top. Good.
Oh.
My number 5. I went with a wrestler as well, but I didn't go Mark Henry.
I saw another one later.
I went I went with a guy who was in WCW. I believe he had a brief stint in WWF, a real brief stint. I know he was in ECW for a little bit. Oh, now I got you confused.
Yeah, you do.
I remember him being in WCW. If it's a guy I'm thinking of, had such a losing streak. It seemed like every time he wrestled, he was like it seemed like he was a jobber. But then he went to ECW, and then he was like, I think he was a champ for a little bit. I can't quite remember. And that's Jerry Lynn.
Oh, Jerry Lynn. Okay, yeah. He bounced around quite a bit. Now he's a producer somewhere.
I think isn't he?
He's with AEW.
Is he at AEW?
Yeah. Yeah, Jerry Lynn, yeah. I want to say I missed him. I didn't see him on there. He's born from Minnesota.
Yeah, that was the reason why I figured that's why he's number 5, because I think you were going to have him a little higher. But
no, I'll admit I didn't see him on there. Didn't catch him right away. My number 4, I gotta remember what she did.
That's a great start.
Yeah, that's an actress. She was. What movie was she in? Yeah, she was in TV show. She replaced one of the stars on Three's Company. That's where I remember her from. That's Jen Lee Harrison. She came in and played the cousin on the Three's Company.
Yeah, I think she played Chrissy, didn't she?
No, she replaced Chrissy. She
replaced Chrissy.
Yeah, she was Cindy. That's Cindy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. You're number 4 since I started.
Number 4. WWE Hall of Famer. Yeah, you sniped my number 4 at number 5. I was like, I went wrestler. I'm going, wow, he's got Jerry Lynn. And then all of a sudden you said Mark Henry. I'm like, oh boy. How did that? Like, yeah, that's about right. Me getting sniped at number. That's about right.
Yeah, you and Henry at 4 though. Okay.
Yep.
Not a bad one. My number 3, probably the guy we can credit for starting this international flavor in baseball from the Japan Chinese side, I guess. Played for the hated New York Yankees. I think his nickname was Godzilla when he came over, and that's Hideki Matsui.
Yeah, I saw that one. Didn't go that way, but I saw that one.
You're number 3.
It's funny that I have my number 3 because he is in a direct link with my number. I want to say my number on number 3 on June 1st. And if it wasn't for Andy Griffith finding my number 3, we wouldn't have had Gomer Pyle. We wouldn't have had Gomer Pyle USMC. We wouldn't have had the crew chief for Burt Reynolds in Stroker Ace. We wouldn't have had. But he was a hell of a singer, a hell of an actor. But we always remembered him for being kind of dopey. And that's Jim Nabors.
Yep. You got me back. That's my number 2, Jim Nabors. I didn't know he was a singer, though. I guess.
Oh, yeah. He's a hell of a singer, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I just remember him. I mean, you see him in other things, but you always remember him for being Gomer Pyle in the Andy Griffith show. And he's just don't see that come out of him.
And the funny thing is, he's the reason why Vincent D'Onofrio in Full Metal Jacket's called Private Pyle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, that was my number 2. Your number 2.
Did you when you were in school, did you have to do a lot of reading in English or a lot of, like, required reading in English? I don't know if it would be English or
yeah.
world history.
We had to read. I hated it.
I didn't do much for reading until I got into college, but yeah. She's more famous. I'm going to say she's more famous for her diary, but she's not. She was more famous for hiding from the Nazis during World War II. It just happened that her diary got put out there, so you knew exactly what her and her family were going through during World War II. And I think you got a real big taste of what was happening to Jews during the Holocaust in Germany and Austria and Denmark and all those other places. And that's Anne Frank.
That's the one I had off of. I took off because I figured you'd have her, and you're the more historian than I am. But yeah, I had her on there until well, Mark Henry would have been there if I would have saw Jerry Lynn. So
yeah. Go ahead, snipe my number one.
All right, number one. It better be both of our number ones. He's the 41st president, George W. Bush.
No, was he the 41st?
Yeah, 41st.
Are you thinking of George W. or George H.W.?
George H.W. I forgot the H. Yeah.
Because I had to double check. I'm going, oh my God, did I have the wrong George Bush?
George H.W. Yeah.
Yeah, my number one. I knew your number one was going to be George H.W. and I had him too. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, yeah, that's number one. Everybody else is just rank and file behind him.
When the last lady you had, Frank, I thought maybe you might have when Bush won and her two or her one, kind of flip flopped them.
It was a thought. It honestly was a thought.
So, all right. So let's go into today's birthdays. June 13th. So happy birthday. I don't know anybody's birthday today. So happy birthday to anybody who has a birthday today. You share them with these famous people. I started, so you start. Number 5.
How many do you have?
God, this one could be. We could go all 5. We could go 4. We could go 3. We better have number 1. I'm gonna go safe and say 3.
I'm gonna say 3 or 4. I'm thinking 4 because I may not. Aren't mine? Yeah.
There's one that I'm questioning that you won't have, but we should have.
I question one that you may not have either. So
yeah. All right, let's start it off.
When I looked this guy up, I didn't understand. I really thought this guy was from Michigan, and then you find out that he wasn't born in Michigan. But you always hear that he promotes Michigan and all that other stuff. Tool Time was set in Michigan. He's the voice of Buzz Lightyear. Find out he's Canadian, which is really confusing. It threw me for it. Yeah, on my website, the website that said Conan was born on June 6th. So at this point, I don't know what to believe anymore. Yeah, everybody remembers him for Buzz Lightyear, for Tool Time on the Home Improvement. He's done a lot of good stuff. I really enjoy his work, and that's Tim Allen.
Okay. My number 5, probably one of the craziest groups of people I've ever seen, and he's the leader of the pack. He's more crazy. I don't think he does all the crazy stuff anymore because he's getting up there in age. Recently saw him in a match last WrestleMania with Sami Zayn, I think it was. And that's from the Jackass crew, Steve-O. I know he does some crazy stuff, but I don't think he goes as crazy as he used to go.
Yeah, when you get off when you get off the drugs, it hurts more.
Yeah.
This is the one that I thought you weren't gonna do. This was my question, one of my questionable ones. So it's good to know that you sniped mine at 5. I always sit there and tell I always tell people going, you've seen the movie, you've seen the TV show Jackass, and they're like, yeah. My brother and I were Jackass before Jackass. And yeah, my number 4 is your number 5, Steve-O.
Yeah. One of the guys that, I don't know how those guys could do that, not have more injuries than, I don't know. All right, my number 4, I got 2 at number 4. Because they're twins, and you see them on Little House on the Prairie, Full House. They're now big into clothes. They might have got into makeup a little bit. Kind of turned for the worse, I guess, a little bit in how they look. I don't know how to explain it, and that's the Olsen twins. So
I this one I knew you were going to have, but I figured they might have been a little higher up. Your number 4 is my number 3. I saw Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. I could have cheated my way through here and said I could have put them in 2 and 3 and been covered. But at this point, I think their sister is more famous.
They got a younger sister that's getting up there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's more famous. But yeah, my number 3 is your number 4.
Yeah.
You're gonna snipe my number 2 now too?
No, I don't think so. But because I don't know if you actually watched the TV show this young lady's but if I was back in my teen years, she would definitely be one of my crushes. I'm trying to see what else she might have been on that you might have seen. Maybe now that I've seen about, she's been in Thorne's movies. I've seen her in Two Broke Girls. She was the young girl in The 40-Year-Old Virgin. And that's Kate Dennings.
Yeah, the funny thing is on my site, on the site that I got it from, it was Mary Kate, Kat Dennings, and Ashley.
Oh,
she was in between them, and I'm like, okay, I can't really do that, but cool. Yeah, and yes, I agree. You know, if I were younger, I'd be in trouble. A lot. She's not that much younger than us. I think she's only like 12 years younger than us.
86.
She's 11.
37.
She's 12 years younger than us.
Yep.
She was born in 87. Yeah, she's 12 years younger than us.
Yep.
Well, me.
She's 10 years younger for me. So
yeah. Yeah. No. I saw that one, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna miss that one for right now.
All right. So your number. Where are we at? 2.
Number 2. He's popular now. He was pop. I remember the first time I saw this guy in a movie, he did something called Not Another Teen Movie, where his claim to fame at the time was to wear a whipped cream bikini. Yeah, kind of confusing when you realize it. And then turned around and did a Marvel movie called Fantastic Four, where he becomes Johnny Storm. But that's not what made him huge. That's not what made him popular. He turned around and did another Marvel movie, and he plays Captain America. I like the guy. Probably one of the nicest guys that anybody's ever met, and that's Chris Evans.
I saw it on there, and yeah, I thought about putting him on there, and I was like, well, after I got the 5, I'm like, well, he would have been number 5 if I didn't put somebody on there. But my number 2 is a guy that's done great work, TV, movies, hell of a comedian. Born in where was he born in? Denver, Colorado.
Okay,
he
now
turned 70.
Huh?
He turned 70. And that's Mr. Tim Allen.
See,
I thought he was from Michigan too, because of everything he does is always Michigan based.
Right, Michigan this, Michigan that, and he got arrested in Michigan.
He went to Western Michigan. Got his degree there, but yeah. I mean,
Got
even
arrested in
in
Michigan.
TV show now, he's still a Michigan fan or whatever.
Yeah.
So Last Man Standing was the show I was thinking of. All right, go with your number one.
All right. You know, they always say somebody has to be the first, right?
Yep.
You know, everybody.
Or your last.
Or you're the first, you're last. Thanks to Ricky Bobby, you're either your first or your last. You know, everybody says that George Washington had a tough time being the first president, to be the father of the country, to lead us to independence. Yeah, I understand the stress, but not as much stress as his wife would have had being married to the president of the United States, to be the first lady. And my number one is Martha Washington.
Yeah, there's no doubt that was the first thing that popped up, and I'm just like, yeah, that's number one by shadow of a doubt. I mean, I don't know what would have taken over number one. I mean, I guess unless George Washington was born on the same day, but
we know he was born in February.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, but yeah. So yeah, Marshall Washington is my number one. Yeah, definitely, had to struggle to be the first, and you gotta be the first at something. So, might not be that. So,
Right.
I was just looking at some other birthdays that we might have missed, and came across one. Fabio Jackson, and you look at his picture. He's been known for doing. He's the doppelganger for Michael Jackson. Looks just like him too.
Really?
I had to look. I'm like, is this guy related? But, yeah. I was just looking at some of the names we might have skipped over. I think June 12th, I missed Mike Zimmer's birthday on that one. So, all right. So last one for the night or the day, June 18th, which, as you all know here, is Father's Day. So
it is here. It is here too.
Okay, I don't know, but
yeah,
happy Father's Day to all the fathers and single moms out there, because single moms play an important role. They got to do both. This one, we could go all five, depending on how you went. Number one, I would say would be a slam dunk, but again, depending on how you went, I'm going to go safe and say 3.
Say 3.
But I think we could nail all 5.
We could. I don't see it, but we could.
This was a lot easier to put together than it was Mother's Day when we did all women. And that's the thing, is this one's going to be all males. But yeah, so I didn't see too many females on this list either.
I didn't either. I didn't either.
So
I had to double check a couple stats for me.
Okay, so what did you say? You're going what number?
I'm thinking 4. I think 4.
Oh, 4. Okay, I'm going 3. Like I said, I can see 4 or 5. I can't see us going 0-4 on this one.
Oh, we're not going 0-4. That's not possible. No, there's a guarantee we're not going 0-4.
There should be 2 guarantees for sure. Well, actually, there should be 3 guarantees, but I just want to know which way you're going.
Should be. But go ahead, Go ahead and start by sniping.
Yeah, I'll start. My number 5. I know early mornings. I think it was either Saturday or Sunday. He had a hour TV show reviewing movies. At least here in Minnesota, he did. And that's Robert Ebert.
I'll tell you now, we're not going 5 for 5.
Okay.
Matter of fact,
that's the one that you would have had.
I took him off.
Oh. Okay,
I took him off.
What you put on here then?
I took him off for good reason.
Okay.
When you realize my good reasons, you go, yeah, I could see how Roger Ebert's not on my list.
Okay.
When you think of the Buffalo Bills, who do you think of? And don't say Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas.
Well, you think of 0 for 4 in 4 straight years for one.
Well, yeah, you go 0 for 4, but now if I say Buffalo Bills and Washington Redskins,
I don't know.
Okay, now if I were to say Buffalo Bills, Washington Redskins, and the sack career leader,
Is that Bruce Smith?
that's Bruce Smith, and that's my number 5.
Wow, I missed that one. You know what? I might have saw that name and just kind of skimmed over it because I did really have my top 5 already picked. But yeah, I would have had him on there for Ebert. I would have knocked Ebert off, but Ebert was an iconic name, so can't go wrong either way. And honestly, he could have probably been above this next guy, but the next guy got he's popular right now. He's just retiring from his TV show. I think he's going to go back on tour, possibly. Can't believe the show's been on for 21 years, though, or seasons, I should say, as they put it. And that's the judge from The View, or The Voice. I'm sorry, The Voice, Blake Shelton.
I saw that one.
So we're not going 4 for 5.
I don't think we're going 4 for 5 either.
All right.
You know, this one's going to hurt because he was a center for the Green Bay Packers. Was a center at the University of Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken. But more well known for his time with the Indianapolis Colts. The former center and former interim head coach of the Indianapolis Colts.
Wow.
You know, they said, and they always made the comment, can Saturday win on Sunday?
He did
And
once.
my number 4 is Jeff Saturday.
I did not see that name on there because I would not have put him on there because I knew you would have had him on there. But I would have probably put him on there for being the coach who gave up a 32-point game at halftime.
And I was nice to put a guy from Minnesota on number 1. Okay.
Yeah. What guy from Minnesota did you put at number 1? Oh, on this list? Okay. At 3. So my number 3, big tall guy from Minnesota, played for the Lakers before they moved to LA. That's Jordan Mikan.
Yeah, I think we're going 3 for 5.
Yep.
Because
number 3.
I think we flip flop our 1 and 3s. Just saying.
Okay. All right.
In the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I think we've had this conversation before where he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Beatles and by himself, I believe, or with the Wings. Probably one of the last 2 remaining Beatles alive. And that's Paul McCartney.
Call him by his real name. Come on.
Sir Paul McCartney, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're flip-flopping 1 and 3. So my number 2, depending on who you talk to, they'll put him in the top 5 at his position. They'll put him top 10 overall. They'll put him top 5 overall. It all depends on which way you want to talk or what kind of categories you're talking about. But Mr. I don't know if he's Mr. St. Louis Cardinal, but
No, I think that's Red Shandist.
Okay. But that's Lou Brock at number 2. Your number 2.
My number 2 played for a little city in St. Louis. Oh wait, that is the city. Yeah, my number 2 is your number 2. I saw Lou Brock and I had to put him on.
And that's the thing. He goes and plays for arch rival. He starts with the Cubs and then goes and plays for the Cardinals.
Yeah. He got traded though, didn't he? Greg will say, yeah, he got traded.
I don't know offhand if he got traded to the Cardinals or what, but
because I don't think at the time there was free agency.
Yeah, so it had to have been trades. Yeah, you could be right. So, yep, Brock was traded after Brock was traded to the Cardinals. He career turned significantly. Yep, he got traded. All right, we're at number 1. Yeah, I got Sir Paul McCartney at number one. That's where I thought the slam dunk for number one was going to be it right there.
Yeah, I kind of I looked at that and going, yeah, everybody's trying to have McCartney there, and I saw Mike in, and I went, yeah, Mike in. To me, I'm like, yeah, it's a good Minnesota boy, and probably the third best center to ever play in the Lakers organization. Somebody's going to shoot me for that one. I already know it. I see it coming because everybody's going to say, well, who do you think who do you think is the best? And I'm thinking, Mike might be number 4. Mike.
Yeah, it all depends on how you go.
If you're looking at Kareem, Shaquille O'Neal, Wilt Chamberlain, then you have to go Mike in 4.
Yeah. He's the best Minnesota center to play in Minnesota. I can tell you that.
Yeah, because the other
three have nothing for centers. He could probably come back and still. I mean, I know he's passed away, but
it'd be awesome to see him play again.
He could come back and play center for Minnesota Timberwolves right now, and he would still be one of the best. I was just looking to see if there's any names that we kind of all skipped over. Can I just say we need to stop taking these YouTubers as celebrities because they're not. I mean, yes, okay. I would never yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
I've had one YouTuber on. I know I picked one at least, but
I don't think I've picked
any celebrity birthdays or famous people birthdays, they always bring up these YouTubers. It's like, come on. But I didn't see any names that we missed. But anyway, your final thoughts there, bud.
Yeah, these are fun. I like doing these. These always kind of peak up a day. It always sees on who we rank where. It's fun.
No, definitely great. I love doing this list. I love doing the state's weirdest laws, country's weirdest laws. I mean, those are always fun to do. So with that being said, you catch myself and Tim Saturday on deck. We'll talk more about the hot streaking Oakland A's right now. Let's not. Anything comes up trade wise, I know the trade rumor mills are coming about, so and the All-Star balloting is coming out. So catch us on Saturday morning tailgate. Tonight, Between the Ropes will be on. Hopefully with the full staff. I know summertime, everybody's kind of busy right now, so we'll talk some wrestling tomorrow. Who knows? Again, it's a lot of stuff happening, so our shows aren't as regular as they used to be. So, but with that being said, Tim, thank you. People watching, Eric Gunn, thank you for joining. Sarge, thank you for joining. Jason, thank you for joining. Friday, Four Bros Radio. It is late night, so you'll have to check that out. We'll see you next Tuesday on C2C Rankem. Have a good one.